In this video, I'll show you how to edit a video in CapCut from start to finish with detailed step-by-step instructions. Let's begin by creating a new project. After opening CapCut, you'll see the New Project button on the screen. Click it. A file selection window will appear immediately. Now, navigate to the folder that contains your videos. In this example, I'll select 3 video clips to edit. You can select one or multiple videos, depending on your needs. Once you've made your selection, click Open. The videos you selected will appear in the Media panel. At this point, they are not yet part of your project. They're simply stored in your media library, ready to be used. Next, let's add the videos to the timeline. Click and hold the left mouse button on the first video. Drag it down to the timeline at the bottom. Then release the mouse button. I'll do the same with the remaining videos. Drag them down. Release the mouse button. Now, all 3 videos are on the timeline. This is where all of your editing will take place. Before we start cutting the video, let's get familiar with a very important tool. Look at the white vertical line on the timeline. This is called the playhead. You can think of it as the current position of your video. Wherever the playhead is, the preview window will display that exact frame. Click and hold the playhead. Then drag it to the right. Watch the preview window. You'll see the image change continuously. Now drag it back to the left. You'll return to the earlier frames of the video. This is one of the actions you'll use most often while editing. Next, let's zoom in on the timeline. You can hold the Control key and scroll your mouse wheel up to zoom in, or scroll down to zoom out. When the timeline is zoomed in, you'll be able to see your clips more clearly, making it much easier to edit with precision. This makes cutting and trimming your video much more accurate. Now click play to preview the video. As the video plays, you'll see the playhead move automatically. This shows you exactly where the video is currently playing. Click play again to stop the video. Great. Now, we're ready to move on to the most important part of the entire editing process. Cutting your video. Play the video. Watch the content carefully. Let's say the first few seconds aren't needed. Maybe you're still getting your camera ready, or you haven't started speaking yet. When you reach the point where you want the video to officially begin, pause the playback. Now, look at the timeline. The playhead is exactly where we want to make the cut. Next, click Split. Your video will immediately be divided into 2 separate clips. Click the clip on the left. This is the part we don't want to keep. Then press Delete. That clip will be removed. Now move the playhead back to the beginning and play the video again. You'll see that the video now starts exactly where you wanted it to. Next, I'll show you how to remove a section from the middle of a video. Play the video again. Let's say there's a mistake in what you said here. Or maybe there are a few extra seconds you don't need. Pause the video at the beginning of the section you want to remove. Click Split. Then, move the playhead to the end of the section you want to delete. Click Split again. Now the unwanted section has been separated into its own clip. Click that clip. Then press Delete. The unnecessary section will disappear immediately. The remaining clips will automatically join together. Play the video again. Take a look at the result. This is the editing technique you'll use more than any other, so make sure you spend some time practicing it until you're comfortable. Next, let's learn how to rearrange clips. Suppose the last clip should actually come before the second clip. Click and hold that clip with the left mouse button, then drag it to its new position. When it's in the correct place, release the mouse button. Now, play the video again. You'll see that the clips now appear in the new order. If you're not happy with the result, you can always drag the clip to a different position. Once you've finished cutting and arranging your clips, we'll move on to adding text to your video. Now, let's add text to the video. This is one of the most commonly used tools in video editing. You can use it to create titles, display the speaker's name, add captions, or highlight important information. Look at the toolbar at the top and click Text. Next, select Add Text. A text box will immediately appear in the center of the preview window. At the same time, a new text track will appear on the timeline. Now, double-click the text box on the screen. Delete the default text if there is any, then type the text you want to display. For this example, I'll type CapCut. Once you've entered the text, look over to the panel on the right. The first thing we'll do is change the font. Click the font option. CapCut offers many different fonts. Try clicking through a few of them. Watch the preview window. You'll notice that each font creates a completely different look and feel. If you're creating tutorial videos like I am, it's best to choose fonts that are simple, clean, and easy to read. Decorative fonts may look nice, but they can be difficult to read, especially on a phone screen. After choosing a suitable font, let's change the size. Find the size option. Drag the slider to the right. You'll see the text become larger. If the text takes up too much space on the screen, drag the slider back to the left to make it smaller. Avoid making the text too small because it can be difficult for viewers to read on mobile devices. Next, let's change the color. Click the color box. You can choose any color you like. However, if your video has a dark background, white text is usually the safest choice. If your video has a lighter background, you can try black or yellow to make the text stand out more. Try a few different colors. Watch the preview window to see which one is the easiest to read. Besides changing the text color, you'll also see options such as bold, italic, and underline. Bold makes the text thicker. Italic tilts the text. Underline adds a line beneath the text. You don't need to use all of them. For tutorial videos, I usually only use bold to make titles stand out. Next, look at the style section. This is where you can add an outline or a shadow to your text. For example, turn on stroke. You'll immediately see an outline appear around the text. If you're using white text on a bright background, a black outline will make it much easier to read. Next, try turning on shadow. A soft shadow will appear behind the text. This helps separate the text from the background and gives it a more professional look. I usually add only a subtle shadow. Avoid making it too strong because it can make the text look cluttered. After formatting the text, let's add an animation. Open the animation section. You'll see that CapCut divides animations into 3 main categories. In controls, how the text appears. Out controls, how the text disappears. Loop controls the animation while the text remains on the screen. Let's start with in. A list of animations will appear. Try selecting fade. After selecting it, move the playhead a few seconds before the text appears. Press play to preview it. This time, you'll see the text fade smoothly onto the screen instead of appearing instantly. It's a very subtle effect that works well for almost any tutorial video. Now let's try another animation, such as ease and right. Then play the video again. This time, you'll see the text slide in from the side, before stopping in its final position. Watch both animations. Notice the difference between them. For tutorial videos like this one, I usually choose fade or ease and right because they look professional without distracting the viewer. After choosing the animation you like, let's adjust its speed. Look at the panel on the right. Just below the animation name, you'll find the duration setting. This controls how fast or how slowly the animation plays. Try dragging the duration slider to the right, then move the playhead back before the text and press play. Watch carefully. This time the text appears more slowly. The animation plays more gradually, giving viewers more time to follow it. Now drag the duration slider to the left. Play the video again. You'll notice that the animation is much faster. If the duration is too short, the text will appear almost instantly, making the animation difficult to notice. On the other hand, if the duration is too long, the text will take too much time to appear, making the pace of the video feel slower. For tutorial videos like this one, I usually set the animation duration between 0.5 and 1 second. That's long enough to create a smooth effect while keeping the video moving naturally. Try changing the duration several times. Each time you make a change, play the video again and compare the results. With just this small adjustment, your text can look much more professional. Next, open the Out section. This time, I'll choose Fade Out. After selecting it, play the video. Watch what happens when the text reaches the end. Instead of disappearing suddenly, it will gradually fade away. If you'd like, you can adjust the duration of the out animation just like before. Try increasing and decreasing it a few times. After each adjustment, remember to play the video again to see the difference. I usually keep the out animation about the same length as the in animation so that the overall motion feels consistent. If you want the text to keep moving while it's on the screen, open the loop section. For example, try the pulse animation. As soon as you select it, press play. Watch the preview window. You'll see the text gently grow and shrink the entire time it's displayed. If the loop animation includes a duration or speed setting, you can also adjust it to see how the movement changes. However, for tutorial videos, I don't recommend using loop too often. Your viewers should be focused on the content on the screen. If the text is constantly moving or moving too quickly, it can become distracting. So, if you decide to use a loop animation, choose a subtle effect and keep the speed moderate. After you've completed all of these steps, move the playhead back before the text one more time. Press play. Watch the entire sequence. The text appears at a comfortable speed. The animation is smooth. It stays on the screen for the right amount of time. Then, it disappears naturally. If you feel the animation is still too fast or too slow, simply adjust the duration until you're happy with the results. After you've finished formatting the text and applying animations to the word CapCut, let's create another line of text. Select the text clip on the timeline, then press Ctrl+C followed by Ctrl+V to duplicate it, or right-click and choose Copy, then Paste. Next, use your mouse to drag the duplicated CapCut text downward. Then, double-click the duplicated text and change it from CapCut to Tutorial. Now you'll have the complete title, CapCut Tutorial. Since the new text was duplicated from the original, it automatically keeps the same font, size, color, and animations, saving you a lot of time when designing your title. Next, let's add transitions between the clips. Right now, the video switches from one clip to the next quite abruptly. To make the transition smoother, click the transition icon located between the two clips. A list of transitions will appear. If you're new to video editing, I recommend using simple transitions, such as fade, wipe, or dissolve. Choose a transition, then play the video to preview it. Watch the difference. If the transition happens too quickly, increase its duration slightly. If it feels too slow, reduce the duration. The goal is to create a smooth and natural-looking transition. Next, let's learn how to add effects to your video. Effects can make your video look more engaging and professional. However, you should use them in moderation to avoid distracting your viewers. First, select the video clip that you want to apply an effect to. Then, look at the toolbar at the top and open the Effects section. CapCut will immediately display a wide variety of effects, organized into different categories. You can click on each effect to preview it and choose the one that best fits your video's content. For tutorial videos like this one, I recommend using simple and subtle effects. The goal is to make your video more engaging, not to distract your audience. Once you've chosen an effect, click it to apply it to the selected clip. Now, play the video to see how the effect looks. After applying the effect, look over to the panel on the right. Here, CapCut will display the settings for the selected effect. These settings vary depending on the effect you're using. Simply adjust each slider while watching the preview window until you're satisfied with the result. Most professional videos use effects very sparingly, so there's no need to add too many effects to the same video. Sometimes, just one simple effect is enough to make your video look much more polished and professional. Now let's add background music to the video. Background music helps make your video more engaging and creates a better viewing experience. However, for tutorial videos like this one, the background music should only play a supporting role. The most important thing is that your viewers can hear your voice clearly. First, open the audio section on the toolbar, then select Library to open CapCut's Music Library. Here, you'll find a wide variety of music tracks organized into different categories and genres. If you're not sure which one to choose, it's best to use soft instrumental music without vocals. This type of music helps viewers stay focused on the content you're presenting. You can click the play button to preview each track before deciding which one to use. Once you've found a suitable track, click Add. The music will immediately be added to the timeline and appear on the audio track below your video. Now, press play to preview the result. You'll hear the background music playing along with your video. If you don't like the track, simply select it and press delete to remove it. Then try another one. Don't hesitate to preview several tracks, because choosing the right background music can make your video look much more professional. If the music track is longer than your video, there's no need to use the entire song. Move the playhead to the point where you want to cut the music, press Ctrl+B to split it, then select the unwanted section and press delete. Next, let's adjust the volume of the background music. Click to select the music track on the timeline. Then look over to the panel on the right and find the volume setting. Drag the volume slider to the left to reduce the volume. For tutorial videos with voice narration, I usually set the background music volume between 15% and 20%. This is loud enough to create atmosphere while still allowing viewers to hear every word clearly. After adjusting the volume, play the video again. If the music still sounds a little too loud, reduce it slightly and listen again. Don't worry about finding an exact number because every music track has a different loudness level. The best approach is to keep adjusting while listening until your voice is always louder than the background music. If your video already contains its original audio, but you only want to use the background music, select the video clip on the timeline, then reduce its volume to 0% or click the speaker icon to mute it. This removes the original audio without affecting the video itself. On the other hand, if you want to edit the original audio separately, right-click the video clip and choose Extract Audio. The audio will immediately be placed on its own track below the video. From there, you can cut, move, adjust the volume, or delete the audio without affecting the video. To make the background music sound more natural, you should also create a fade-in at the beginning and a fade-out at the end. Move your mouse to the beginning of the music track on the timeline. You'll see a small circle or handle appear in the corner of the audio clip. Click and drag that handle to the right. The diagonal line that appears on the music clip represents the fade-in effect, allowing the volume to gradually increase from quiet to full volume. Next, move your mouse to the end of the music track. Drag the handle at the end of the clip toward the left. CapCut will create a fade-out effect, allowing the volume to gradually decrease before the music ends. This method is much faster than entering values manually in the settings panel, and you can immediately see the length of the fade effect directly on the timeline. After you've finished, play the video again. You'll notice that the background music no longer starts or ends abruptly. Instead, it transitions smoothly, making the entire video feel much more professional. After you've finished editing, you can combine everything on the timeline into a single clip to keep your project organized and easier to manage. First, hold down the Control key and select all the elements you want to combine, including video clips, audio, text, effects, and any other objects. Then right-click the selected items and choose Create Compound Clip, Sub-Project. CapCut will immediately combine all of the selected elements into a single clip on the timeline. Now you can move, copy, trim, or apply effects to the entire video with a single action instead of selecting each individual element. This is especially useful for projects with multiple video layers, text, and audio, because it keeps your timeline much cleaner and easier to manage. Don't worry about losing your original elements. If you ever need to edit them again, simply double-click the compound clip. CapCut will open the sub-project, which contains all of your original video clips, audio, text, and effects. You can edit everything just as you normally would. When you're finished, return to the main project. Any changes you make inside the sub-project will automatically update the compound clip on the timeline. This is a feature used by many professional editors to manage large projects. It keeps the timeline clean, easy to navigate, and helps prevent accidentally moving or editing individual elements. After completing all of these steps, play the entire video from beginning to end. If your viewers can hear your voice clearly, the background music is subtle, and the transitions sound smooth. Then, you've done an excellent job setting up the audio for your video. Next, we'll make a few basic color adjustments to help your video look brighter, sharper, and more professional. Select the video clip you want to edit, then look over to the panel on the right and open the Adjust tab. This is where you'll find the tools for adjusting your video's color and lighting. You'll see quite a few different settings. Don't worry if this is your first time seeing them. In fact, if you're a beginner, you only need to use a few key settings to noticeably improve your video's image quality. The first setting is exposure. This controls the overall brightness of your video. If your video looks a little dark, drag the exposure slider slightly to the right. The image will immediately become brighter. On the other hand, if your video is too bright, drag the slider to the left to reduce the brightness. Make small adjustments at a time. If you increase it too much, the brightest parts of the image will lose detail and look unnatural. After adjusting the exposure, watch the preview window to compare the difference. Next is contrast. Contrast controls the difference between the brightest and darkest areas of the image. Increasing the contrast makes the image look sharper and gives it more depth. However, if you increase it too much, the dark areas will become too black, and the bright areas will look overly harsh. In most cases, a small increase is enough to make a noticeable difference. Next is saturation. This controls the intensity of the colors. Increasing the saturation makes the colors look richer and more vibrant. Reducing the saturation makes the colors appear more muted. For most videos, I only increase it slightly to make the colors look more natural and visually appealing. Avoid increasing it too much, or the image will look overly saturated and unrealistic. Now let's look at two very useful settings that many beginners often overlook. The first one is highlights. Highlights only affect the brightest areas of the image. If the sky or other bright areas look overexposed, you can reduce the highlights slightly to bring back more detail. Next is shadows. Shadows control the darker areas of your video. If the dark areas look too black and difficult to see, increase the shadows slightly. This helps reveal more detail in the darker parts of the image without significantly affecting the rest of the picture. While adjusting the colors, make one adjustment at a time. After each adjustment, watch the preview window to see how the image changes. If you adjust too many settings at once, it becomes difficult to tell which setting is making the difference. If you want to return to the original settings, simply click the reset icon at the top of the panel. Here's another helpful tip. Don't try to make the colors extremely vibrant. Most professional videos use only subtle color adjustments. The goal of color correction isn't to make the image look completely different from the original. Instead, it's to make your video brighter, clearer, better balanced, and still look natural so it's comfortable for viewers to watch. Once you've finished making your adjustments, it's time to export your video. Click Export. The Export Settings window will appear. For resolution, choose 1080p. This is the ideal resolution for most YouTube videos today. Next, set the frame rate to 30 frames per second. This provides smooth playback without making the file size unnecessarily large. After checking all of your settings, click Export. CapCut will begin exporting your video. This process may take a few seconds or several minutes, depending on the length of your video and your computer's performance. When the export is complete, open the exported video and review the final result. And that's it. You've completed your very first video in CapCut. If you enjoyed this CapCut tutorial for beginners and would like to see more video editing tutorials, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any future lessons. You can download CapCut using the link in the description below and start practicing right away. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.